Des saw a flyer for to be in it. They're looking for extras for 1917, the World War One film, and I said, yeah, let's give it a go. I was free. It was early 2019, and then since then, yeah, that was my first project. It's just gone crazy.
I want to discuss your first project because that's one thing we spoke about when we first met earlier in the year, 1917. I actually had not seen the film until I think I watched it a few weeks after talking about it with you. Yeah. Fucking hell, what an amazing film. One of the best war films that has ever been made. I'm not just saying it because I'm talking to you. I think I actually messaged you after when I watched it, but you actually got to appear in it. You saw yourself in the big screen. Just please tell me and the listeners, how was your experience? I mean, that being your first project is mental, by the way, mate.
It was one of those surreal experiences. I mean, especially when I saw Sam Mendes for the first time. I mean, this guy obviously won was it American Beauty, where he won the
best
Oscar.
picture, best director, isn't it? 1999, 2000.
Yeah, and obviously that film itself, and then just seeing him just walk around and just stand next to Roger Deakins, one of the best cinematographers of all time, and just hearing them have the conversations about how they're going to do this shot and how they're going to do that and how they're going to. It was just, I could just sit there all day. Honestly, I'd be quiet. I'd be like that little person in the corner.
It's like listen to like your granddad told stories and stuff. You're just sitting there, just like mesmerized at what's going on.
It was just incredible. And then obviously we were wearing all the gear, and they built the trenches. And I know it might sound a bit cliche when people say, when you do go into another world, it is really, you do feel like you are transcended into something completely different. And then you go out of your day job, and you're like, all right, back to the real world now. It is kind of one of those that was incredible. And just the music with Thomas Newman, who was the composer for that, and obviously the film itself, I always said, take my biased opinion, obviously playing a little small part of it. I think, just the visual and the one shot take and everything like that, I think it just adds to the elements of making such a great film that it was. And I make great friends for life for that, and friends I still speak with today. And
it's one of those films I completely understand the hype. Like, it's just, I couldn't get over how good it was. And like you just said, like the fact that it's done in, one take technically, but just how it is executed, and just the cinematography, the soundtrack, the acting, like it's just an amazing war film. I think I haven't seen a good war film in quite a long time. And the fact that you got to be a part of it, I'm jealous, I
think it's just the fact that it's a very different war film as well. Everyone expects guns and bombs and right, left and centre, everyone's battle fight, but it was just following the journey of real two men who had a mission to send a message to try and save 1,600 men from dying and going over the top. It was different, and I think it hit at the right perfect time before obviously the whole pandemic malarkey came out.
Where else I saw you pop up? Wasn't on the big screen necessarily. Wasn't in the film. It was during the Euros.
Oh, yes.
When England were playing at Wembley a few times. And that's when you had the mustache. Actually, just before we do talk about you being at the Euros, please explain why you had that mustache. Not even for November. It was in the fucking summer. Was it for a film?
I just had a Freddie Mercury one of these. To be fair, you speak to most of my mates, they'll know me more of having a moustache than just having like a bristly beard.
It did suit you. It did suit you.
No, to be fair, it was the hair and makeup people, lovely people. When I done Whirlwind, I filmed on Masters of the Air. It's a new World War II series, following the Band of Brothers in the Pacific. So it's got Tom Hanks and Spielberg behind it, which I think speaks for itself when you got Hanks and Spielberg
best actors and directors of all time.
Just as you do. No, just another day at the office. So I was pretty pumped about that. But yeah, no, the hair and makeup ladies, they were great. Like, they would like cut my moustache to every like inch, and then they would dye it to have a bit of colour to it, and then how they cut my hair. It was. I was having great makeovers during the whole of the summer. It's a dodgy line, and so it's all well and good. But the Euros and combined with filming and Masters, it was it was a great summer, to be honest.
I can imagine, man. And you got featured on the fucking news as well.
Yeah, it was
BBC News.
It was a weird few weeks because obviously a lot of like show rules looking back at the games. I just appeared, and because I was kind of right by the goal, the camera's always
Yeah.
I think it was the Germany game. I got back from the Germany game, obviously buzzing that we won 2-0. And I must have had about like 30 messages just on my Instagram. I was like, Liam, I just saw you, Liam, please run the goal, whatever, you know. Yeah, no, it was it was an incredible experience because it was something that I never thought the Euros was going to come round.
With the, yeah, I know, man.
You know, it was just, I mean, this is how far the Euros go. Before even I'd done acting and everything, I had an apprenticeship with the FA. So I used to work at Wembley Stadium. And during that, I worked mostly on an under-17s Euros championship, but I did a bit of admin work on Euro 2020 because I was kind of part of that events team.
Oh, nice.
But then that came to an end. It's like I was just filing papers and stuff like that. So that was back in, I don't know, 2017, let's say. And then obviously now 2021, it felt like such a huge gap. But, you know, being part of the England Supporters Club, Block 109 Wembley, we're like a fans group and we get together. And yeah, I was lucky to get quite a few tickets. The Germany game, that was just on the UEFA website. The Denmark game, the semi-final, that was from my friend James.
Some of those prices, man.
Yeah, I mean, the final ticket, I was so lucky. It was just a friend on the day. I didn't really know that well. They said you could have it for 80 quid. And I said, £80? Like, you having a laugh. They're going for like £1,000 up to £2,000, £3,000. Like, and they were, yeah, that's fine, Liam. Go enjoy your fete. So if you're a loyal England fan, I said, how I can repay you. And then obviously the misery that went on from that day. But anyway, we won't talk about that too much. But the Denmark and Germany game, I mean, the Denmark game thoroughly felt like we just won the Euros. Generally,
yeah.
Like, it was 5 going off. It was getting to our first final since 1966, and it was just, I've never seen Wembley or this country like it. You know, we've had a tough,
it was incredible summer.
Yeah, and you know, and then mixed in with my uni mates, and was, you know, we felt free again because of COVID, kind of went down a bit. I watched the football.
The country was united.
Yeah, and it was good to see. It's very rare to see. You know, we've been so locked up, killing each other, politics this, politics that, and it's just nice to just forget about that.
Those few weeks, literally, like one of those magic tournaments. All right, fair enough. Things didn't go away. Penalties, obviously, against Italy, but just the weeks built up to it, like having fucking Scotland in the tournament, you know.
Well, that was ironic when the Scotland game, because that's the bit I did stuff with ITV News for. And then I went with my mate Liam Howe. We went to Trafalgar Square, and that's when we was mixed in with all the Scottish fans. So we were getting loads of abuse, trying not to die. But then got to Trafalgar Square and watched a boring, dull 0-0 draw. It
was torture that game, wasn't it? Like, we didn't think it was England versus Scotland. You know, it's supposed to be a rivalry. Fuck.
Walking around Trafalgar and Leicester Square, I just saw like dead Scottish bodies all over the floor. These guys have been drinking since.
Mate, it was carnage. Seeing, like, I mean, obviously you was there, but like seeing like on the news and Instagram and social media in general, fuck, they were having a fantastic time.
I just had my parents say, "Be safe," and I'll never forget these lads walked past. And I just had my England jacket on. I didn't actually have my shirt on me that day, but it had my old FA jacket. And all I just heard them whisper to me was, "Good luck, lads," because we were walking straight towards Leicester Square, and it was kicking off big time. Like, it really was. It went crazy. But
I think because they knew that they weren't going to go far in the tournament, they just want to have a good time, go out with a bang. You know what I mean?
I mean, like they were probably just happy to be there, and
a lot of them did clean up after, which I respect. And I love the Scottish. I mean, I've got Scottish in me, so I'm not gonna. But obviously, I've lived in England pretty much all my life. But it was just one of those games. It was so fucking boring.
And it was pissing down, and we were outside because it was the fan zone, so I was absolutely drenched. And I was like, I think everyone wanted Gareth Southgate out at that point. I think I was probably one of them. I was just like, oh, boring football, negative formation. You know, we only won 1-0 in the previous game. But, you know, when we played Croatia, but then, we went and done really well.